Are you ready? I said, are you ready for the 3 Count Podcast Draft Wrap and Backlash Preview? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Dylan Chambers. Joining me, as always, with the first pick in the 3 Count co-host draft, Ben Hobden. Benny, welcome to the show.
G'day, Dill. It's been a hot minute, mate. It's been a little bit, but, we're ready for Backlash and obviously the draft.
Bit of a break from WrestleMania to Backlash.
It's been a while. Yeah, it felt like a while.
It has been a while. And we've got a bumper show for you today. We're going to break down everything that happened in the draft. We're going to give our thoughts and the odds on the Backlash card. And for our 3 Count draft today, with Triple H revealing the new World Heavyweight Championship, we're going to draft the best ever title belts in wrestling.
You've got a few behind you there, mate. You've got a few behind you.
I do. Will that one make the list? We'll find out. Follow us on the socials at 3Count Podcast on Instagram, at 3Count Podcast on at 3Count Pod on Facebook, and hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you're watching or listening to us. Got a lot to get through, Benny. Let's get into the draft. Let's start with the Aussies. Indy Hartwell.
Got to start with the Aussies, bro.
Indy Hartwell, Grayson Waller, and Zion Quinn all making their way up to the main roster.
Yeah.
And obviously Rhea was drafted, Bronson was drafted. So,
well, Indy relinquished the title today.
Yes, Indy Hartwell, she relinquished her NXT title. It kind of makes sense for Indy. She'll, obviously take some time off nursing whatever she's done to her ankle. Looks nasty. Grayson's ready to go. Classic shoey once he found out. And I love it. He's like, all these guys behind me, they're not my friends. Don't cheer for me. Just heel to the last minute. Mate, I love it.
Yeah, he's such a good heel. I love it. But just this cocky, smarky little bloke. It's just, I know you don't really like him, but hey.
I like what he does. I like his work.
Yeah, Bronson as well. I like Bronson. Obviously, he was already up there, but I mean, and our boy Zion,
Yeah.
Free agent, but hey, it doesn't mean anything. He could go anywhere.
He's going to show up wherever he feels like it, apparently. So, yeah, that's awesome news for all of them. We'll kind of stay with NXT. I kind of felt like that was the more interesting part of the draft, just finding who was going to go up. And you know who went up? Everyone.
I literally just said to you before we started, who's left on NXT? Like, honestly, who is left?
So we had Zoe Stark, Apollo Crews, JD McDonough, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, Caden Chance, Tana Carter, Odyssey Jones, all of Indus Shear, Pretty Deadly, Cameron Grimes, and Grayson and Zion, obviously. So, yeah, they just raided NXT.
Oh, good old Apollo going back up. He just can't make up his... Oh, and I guess Jinder as well with Indus Shear. They're all going up. And, it's going to be interesting to see where they fit everybody because obviously, both the tag titles as well. I know we're just skipping, but both tag titles are on Raw. So does that mean we're going to get SmackDown tag titles for the men and women? Yeah. Or are they just going to jump back and forth with KO and Sammy? So...
Well, the NXT tag titles are going to be on SmackDown, I believe.
Well, obviously they're going to have to. Well, do they just relinquish the NXT and make them SmackDown tag champions, or it's weird? Possibly.
I mean, so we'll look at the women's side of things because looking at Raw drafted a lot of women.
Yeah,
so that's
what the. Yeah.
So it looks like Raw is going to be the place for the tag team titles. So we've got Rhea, Becky, Indy, Natalya, Zoe, Candice LeRae, Green, Deville, Liv, Raquel, Trish, Ronda, Shayna, Chance and Carter, Niven, Lee, Knox, Valhalla, Dupree, and Emma. They're all there.
That's a lot.
And most notably, I think, Ronda and Shayna are there too, and Liv and Raquel. So I feel like that's...
Yeah, you have been spruiking that for a while. That's the natural progression of where it's going to go. So you would think that's going to be, and plus obviously the women's titles. We've got obviously our girl Rhea going to be the women's Raw champion, and there's plenty of women there now to be able to go for that as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Not as many to SmackDown. Belair went, Damage Control, Fire and Dawn, Lacey Evans, Mia Yim, B-Fab. Charlotte Flair, Vega, Asuka, Scarlett, Shotzi, and Tamina. That's a lot of people to lose to Bianca Belair.
I was just going to say who's going to beat her there. Charlotte. That's about it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
It's too early. It's too early.
It's too early.
You never know. She might lose to Io this week, and then
Yeah, I'll
see how we
be
go.
eating my words if that happens. So a couple of free agents. Brock Lesnar is a free agent. Omos is a free agent. Baron Corbin, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, Elias, and Zion Quinn. So they can just show up anywhere.
Or more or less, they just don't have anything for them at the moment. So we'll make them a free agent and see what they do.
Absolutely. So Roman's gone to SmackDown along with Solo Sikoa. The titles go with him. So the surprising thing out of this was then we have Cody going to Raw.
Yeah.
I thought for sure he wants the WWE title. He hasn't mentioned the World Heavyweight title. What do they do here?
Well, I guess they could long play it, because in 6 months to 8 months, everybody's going to be mixed up again anyway. We know that these drafts only work for the first 3 months anyway, and then it all just gets muddled up again anyway. Yeah. So I think, I guess who's going to be the new champion of this new Raw title? That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't think they should give it to Cody.
No, it's got Seth's name written all over it.
Yeah, you'd think so. Unless if they give it to somebody new. They're not going to give it to Brock. So,
well, Gunther is over on Raw now.
But
double champion.
Yeah, maybe. We're sick of this double champion stuff. We've been saying it. They need to stop this double champ stuff. If you've got that many people on the card, you need to split it all up.
Absolutely.
So the other question I have is does that mean Roman's still going to keep both belts, or are they going to just make his one belt?
It would make sense to make it one belt, but I have a feeling for a while he's going to have two.
Yeah. The undisputed heavyweight, whatever it is. Yeah.
Here's the call. Now, someone, my Wrestle Cave, shout out to Brad. He threw this out at me earlier and it made a lot of sense to me. Cody winning Money in the Bank and challenging Roman.
Okay. That makes sense.
And then when he wins it, changing it to the Winged Eagle title.
Okay.
Which we may or may not draft later.
I don't mind that. Yeah, good call, Brad. Good call.
Yeah. But yes, a lot going on. Reigns, Sikoa, Street Profits, Edge back on SmackDown. Lashley moved over. OC, AJ Styles made a return. Theory's over there now. Usos, LWO, The Brutes, and LA Knight. Yeah, is over on SmackDown. So they didn't change things up too much, but enough to shake it up.
Yeah, I feel like Triple H saying it was going to be game changing. Was that just to get his the game name in there or something? I don't know. It wasn't really that game changing. You know what I mean? Like the new title I get, and just so that Roman's only over there, that's sort of game changing a little bit. Yeah. But it's not really that much going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be fun to see how all this draft shakes out, but that was kind of the gist of it there. We have the new World Heavyweight Championship, which will be exclusive to Raw and is going to be decided at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. You did send me that funny image the other day of Reigns looking at both titles and saying, I could do with a third of them.
Yeah. No, I thought that was pretty funny. I got another one. It's just got a picture of him and he's literally wearing all three. So it was like, what's going on here? It'd be funny if they did it. It'd be so funny if they did it.
I mean, are we in for another Seth Cody?
Possibly.
I wouldn't hate it.
It was a great rivalry. Some great matches they had. So
it just feels like it's got Seth's name written all over it. And I'll explain to you a little bit later why.
Ooh.
Stay tuned. Some congratulations are in order. Congratulations to Gunther. He got married former NXT superstar Ginny. So congratulations there to Gunther and to Carmella and Corey Graves, who have announced they're pregnant. Obviously, Carmella had a couple of issues with a few miscarriages earlier, but they're officially pregnant. And I don't know if you've seen it, Benny, but on the social, she put out a video of her telling Corey's kids. So her stepkids. The tears.
The tears? Tearjerker? Yes. Yeah, nice.
She bought them all brand new pairs of Nikes, right?
Yeah.
And they're all like, they're so grateful. Oh, that's awesome. I need a new pair. Oh, that looks so cool. And she goes, oh, there's another pair in the box. Do you want to just get them out? And they were a tiny baby pair. And like the three of them just like swarmed her. It was very.
What, did Corey know as well? Or did Corey already know? Or
he wasn't in the video.
Oh, right. Right. So he would have
assuming he knew. Assuming he knew.
Imagine she told the kids first.
So yes, congratulations.
Well, fingers crossed everything goes well with that.
Absolutely. We've had a couple of returns going on around the wrestling industry. AJ Styles, as we mentioned, he's back. In case we were worried about whether he was still out injured and just making an appearance, he did do a phenomenal forearm. So
if he can springboard up there, mate, he should be okay.
He should be okay. We had Jeff Hardy make his return to AEW a couple of weeks ago. So hopefully Jeff stays on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
We get more of Jeff Hardy. Roderick Strong made his debut for AEW.
Coming out
of nowhere.
Coming to help baby.
Yeah. There's been no chatter about his contract or
nothing.
What was going on. So a very, very cool, unexpected return. How about CM Punk returning to WWE?
Yeah, well, he was backstage and we talked about it a little bit. What do you think? I think he was just there just to say hello because he was in town or something like that.
I think he was just there to say hello to a few friends.
But apparently also he was backstage at AEW last week as well.
Yeah, so there is the rumors out there everywhere that he will be making his return to AEW soon. I think the Raw thing was just seeing a few friends.
Yeah.
Apparently they have a new show coming out soon called Collision. And there's talk of a roster split with people who like CM Punk on one side and people who don't on the other.
Do you know what this has the feel about, though? This has the feel about when Bret Hart signed with WCW and Eric Bischoff was trying to make Thunder a different program centered around Bret Hart and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That went really well for them.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm worried about.
It'll be interesting to see what happens there. I'm a huge Punk mark. I'd like to see him back. I think they can make a lot of money if they play this right and all get their egos in check.
Especially with the big show coming up at Wembley, if they can get him back for that, then that's going to sell way more seats. Just on that, they reckon they've sold 35,000 seats already for Wembley. So that's not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah. Although it does hold 100,000 or 90,000 or whatever it is.
They're getting there.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right to start with. Somebody came out today and said that they were only going to do. It was a tweet that I read. Apparently, they were only going to make it a 40,000 seater stadium anyway for the live event or for the pay per view. And TK's come out and absolutely blasted the person and told him to shove it up his ass pretty much. And
wow,
so it was a pretty interesting one.
Yeah, nice.
But TK standing up.
Yeah, do it. Now we'll move on quickly to the other wrestling shows. We've got Mercedes Moné. She lost her IWGP women's title to Mayu Iwatani, but she has signed a contract extension with New Japan. So she will be there for a little while longer.
Forbidden Door?
Oh, there's some juicy matchups there for Forbidden Door if she stays that long.
Beat your girl Jade Cargill for the title.
We can only hope.
Her and Britt Baker would be all right.
The Bianca Belair of AEW.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. There'll be, she could even take on Saraya. Let's run it back. I know Saraya is not all that much chop in the ring, but there's a lot of history there. And Naomi, aka Trinity, she's back. She's made her debut on Impact. She's
lots of fanfare behind that one, wasn't there?
Yeah. She's finally back in the ring. But good to see. Mercedes was there, Bailey was there. It's obviously a little tight knit, community they've got going.
Let's just say if you didn't scroll to the bottom of the terms and conditions, you wouldn't have seen that one happening, people, because it wasn't that bigly known. So
no.
Heard it here.
Well, that's it. All right. That is what we've got for the news. Benny, it's time for your favorite part of the podcast.
No.
Time for some Backlash history and our little test. I hope you've been studying.
This is a test.
Okay, Backlash first started in 1999.
That was one of my answers. Cross that off.
That's too easy. That's a gimme. What was the main event for the first pay-per-view?
See, I knew you were going to ask that, and I literally did look at it, and now I can't remember. 99, Stone Cold The Rock.
Austin Rock, no holds barred match for the WWF title. Who was the special guest referee?
I do remember it now because of my study. Shane O'Mac.
Shane O'Mac, special guest referee for the first two Backlash main events.
There you go.
Now, Backlash, it was discontinued from 2009 to 2016. What pay-per-view was it replaced with?
Something ground or something?
Now, you're close there. It was actually replaced.
Stomping ground or something?
It was replaced with Extreme Rules for those years. But there was 1 year in 2019 where they didn't replace it and they had Stomping Ground. So
I remember reading something like that. Yeah, Stomping Ground.
I'll give you a tick for that one.
Half a point.
Half a point. Now, when Backlash returned in 2016, what was the main event?
2016. Brock versus I've got nothing.
Brock versus
Roman.
It was AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose for the WWE title.
Wow, was AJ in 2016? Has he been there that long? It doesn't feel that long, hey?
He's been around a while.
I guess, Ambrose has been gone for 4 years as well.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Time flies.
That was a SmackDown only pay-per-view, that one.
Yeah.
Who has the most wins at Backlash? I'll tell you, it's 6.
Oh. Is it somebody obscure? Kane.
Kane has the most wins at Backlash with 6. He's got a 6-2-1 record. Who has the most matches?
Triple H.
It's actually Edge with 11.
I just thought it'd have to be Triple H.
Edge is.
It's always the answer. Triple H is always the answer.
You're very safe. You're very safe. I think Triple H is second or third. So Edge has 11 with a 5-6 record. So not great for Edge. Now, Backlash is being held in Puerto Rico. WWE has held one other pay-per-view there in its history. Can you name the event and the year?
2005 New Year's resolution.
You've done your study, good man.
Hey, I did look that one up. I was thinking he's going to ask a Puerto Rican question for sure, so I've got to get this one.
Well done. Now, out of all the wrestlers on this year's card, Brock Lesnar was the first to compete at a Backlash. What was the first year he competed, and who did he face?
Now, it's funny because I have Lesnar written down here, and it says that he's 2-0, but I didn't have that as an answer. I'm going to say Kurt Angle.
Jeff Hardy in 2002.
Of course, it was a long time
21 years ago. And he is 2-0. So he's only had 2 matches at Backlash, and one was in 2002.
Feel old yet?
Oh, yeah, I'm getting there. How many superstars on this year's card are undefeated at Backlash?
Well, Brock. There's one. Bianca Belair.
Yep.
I'm just looking at the card here in front of me. Bobby Lashley.
No.
And then the last one I was going to say would be KO.
No, not KO either. So Roman Reigns is 3-0. Lesnar and Cody are both 2-0. And Rhea, Priest, Belair, and Omos are 1-0.
Omos, of course, my boy. Should have known.
7 all up are undefeated on this year's card. But yes, Reigns the best at 3-0. All right, Benny, you've gotten through it. It's time to get into the card. Let's start with what is slowly being rumored to be the main event. The San Juan street fight between Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. Bunny paying $1.36, Priest $2.85.
It's like, I get it's in Puerto Rico, but why? Like, just to make that the main event just doesn't seem right.
I did hear someone say that it's because Lesnar wanted to fly home early.
That wouldn't surprise me. He's done that before. Yeah. Look, this one will be interesting. Obviously, Priest will carry him through the match. Bad Bunny, we know, has been good. He has proved himself, not quite to the Logan Paul level, but obviously you're going to have, the rest of the Judgment Day getting involved. It's a street fight after all.
That's right.
LWO will get involved. It's going to be just an all-out war, really. You're going to have to go with the money, I think. You got to go with Bad Bunny.
I am 100% with you. Bunny for sure. No doubt. Judgment Day, LWO involvement. But yeah. Bunny for this one. All right. Seth Rollins and Omos. Rollins $1.36, Omos $2.90.
We all know what I think. I want to hear your thoughts.
I'm torn on this one. All right.
Are you?
I am. So Omos got his ass beat at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And I think if they want to have him as an attraction, which it seems like they're trying to do, he can't keep losing.
Exactly.
Plus, Rollins has shown that losing does nothing to stop his momentum.
Exactly.
And this might be one of those times where he plays ball for the team in order to be the new world heavyweight champion.
But how many times has he got to play ball for the team? Dylan, tell me. All he does is play ball for the team.
He does. And I think this is the last stop.
This is the last payoff?
The last payoff before he becomes world heavyweight champion. Omos for me.
Does he squash
$2.90.
How does he win?
Not a squash match. Unfairly somehow.
That title belt just moved in the background.
Yeah.
That was creepy.
The NXT title. It's falling off along with all the other NXT superstars.
Woo, that was creepy. All right. Yeah, look, I said to you last week or 2 weeks ago when they announced the match, which again, can we also not talk about the fact that this match got announced randomly on SmackDown?
But neither of them are.
Seth didn't even know about it. He goes, okay, I guess I'll be doing that. Look, I want to say Seth, but I think you're right. I think you've got me. I think Omos probably will win this one as well. I hate that. I hate that.
I had Rollins for this, and then I kind of wrote all those notes out and just ended up talking myself into Omos.
Well, you've just done that to me. So powers of persuasion, mate. But obviously, I want Seth to win. I love Seth. I hate Omos to like the end of the earth. But yeah, what you've said just there has to make sense.
All right. Well,
otherwise, Omos is done. Like, what else can they do with him? If he loses to Seth now, it's done.
There's plenty of space in NXT for him. All right, moving on. The US Championship triple threat match: Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, Bronson Reed. Theory $1.30, Lashley $3.75, at Reed $5.
Yeah, look, I think we're going to have Bronson and Lashley very much similar to the IC title match at WrestleMania. The two big guys are going to take each other out, and Austin's going to swoop in and get the victory. Maybe we see Bronson come off the top on top of Lashley, and then Austin kicks him out of the ring and jumps on top of Lashley or something like that. But I think Austin holds on here.
I agree. Originally, I had Reed, but with him being drafted to Raw, I was like, well, that rules him out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Reed's going to end up taking the pin and Theory's going to win it.
Yeah. Look, Lashley could win it, obviously, because he is on SmackDown as well. I think it's kind of annoying that we have to, we think like that. Because we know that Reed's not going to win it now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of annoying. But yeah, I'm going to go with Theory for me.
All right. The Raw Women's Championship match: Bianca Belair, Io Sky. Belair $1.12, Sky $5. Belair, put your house on it. Let's move on.
I'm going to actually go for the upset here. And no, I'm not. Bianca Belair.
You had me.
And Bayley will get involved and Bayley will put herself forward. It's going to be a little breakdown between, Damage Control and, that's probably going to cause a bit of an issue. Belair swoops in. And then I reckon I wouldn't be surprised to see a face turn at the end from Io Sky against Bayley. And she'll sort of not team with Bianca Belair, but they'll sort of shake hands afterwards because Bayley did something dodgy.
Okay. I like it.
I don't know. You need to make something interesting about the match, right?
Yeah, exactly. SmackDown Women's Championship match: Rhea Ripley, Zelina Vega. Ripley $1.07.
That
Zelina
is
Vega $7.
Better than That's just crazy.
The odds are justified. Hopefully, I'm just hoping that Ripley makes Vega look, a bit like a female Ray. Like, hopefully she really puts something into it. Yeah, I mean, I don't think for a second they're putting her over.
No.
But hopefully, we see a little bit of a spark out of Zelina Vega where we're like, okay, this could be like a bit of an underdog kind of story here.
Yeah, well, she was Queen last time. She's Queen Zelina. It is Judgment Day versus LWO as well. So there is that little element into it. So, I mean, there could be a little bit. It's not going to be a squash match, I don't think. It could quite easily be a squash match, like it should be. But you're right. They should make it so that it goes for at least no longer than like 8 to 10 minute match. But I think that'll be long enough. And Rhea comes away with the win.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember seeing Zelina Vega as a face for quite some time. And when you're that tiny, it's kind of hard to be a heel.
Yeah.
And it makes it absolutely so much easier to be a face. So,
well, look at Ray. Yeah, you're exactly right. It's a great comparison. So
maybe this is a turning point for Zelina Vega. Just quickly, while we're talking about Rhea's match, how about the reception Dominic Mysterio got?
Whew, how good was that? Talk about heat heel.
Goodness.
Yeah. That was, heel heat. Yeah, that was crazy. Like they wouldn't let him talk.
They would not let him talk. That was amazing. And he's handling it very well.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, he probably tried for 10 minutes to try and get a word. Incredible. Absolutely. So much fun. Anyway,
just on that, although our not a favorite of ours, but maybe not yours, I don't know. Vince Russo come out and reckons that WWE were piping in the booze. I heard it on another podcast, and shout out to Vince Russo. You did some good things, but you did some real bad things.
I have at times enjoyed listening to a Vince Russo podcast, but
that's all he says. Bro.
But that is the most Vince Russo thing that I've heard.
Excuse me. Yeah. He just shits on the product so much at the moment. But anyway, enough about that. Vince.
Well, if they did
shout out Vince.
They did pipe it in.
Did a great job.
Bloody great work.
Yeah, exactly.
Bloody great work. All right, the 6-man tag team match: Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle against the Bloodline. Sami, KO, and Riddle $1.57. Bloodline $2.25.
Yeah, this is got the faces written all over it. The Usos are taking some L's at the moment. Solo, obviously the enforcer, he's just too angry and broody on the outside, and he probably won't get in and do anything, or he'll do something stupid. They're pushing Riddle back up the chain, I guess. So he needs a win, and you can't have the tag team champions lose. So I think it's those three for me.
I respectfully disagree.
Okay.
I'm taking the Bloodline on this one because Sami and KO can't lose the titles here.
That's a good point.
Plus, Jimmy and Jay, they need to do something to get back in Roman's good graces. I think it's going to happen here because I think there's a lot more to come for the Bloodline. I think we're going to have a tease of maybe Solo taking them out, but then it not happening. So okay. Yeah, that's where I'm going with this one. Just something a little bit interesting.
Is Roman going to be even in Puerto Rico?
No,
he's not there at all.
No, Roman's not going to be there.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah,
a marquee product going overseas, and they don't even have the champion even show up.
Hey, that's why they made a new title belt.
Okay, well, no, I respect your opinion, but yeah, it makes sense that they can't lose the title, so that you would give them that. But I think this is just going to fall further into dissension of the Bloodline and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So Solo will lose his shit at the end.
I'm looking forward to it. All right. Lastly, we have Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar. Cody $1.52, Lesnar $2.40. Look, for me, Lesnar got his win. He got his win at Mania. It's time to put Rhodes over. The only way Brock wins this one, I think, is if they plan to stretch this out over maybe 2 or 3 pay-per-view matches like they did with Rollins. But I don't think they will, so Cody winning for me.
Yeah, interesting. I've gone back and forth with this one quite a bit. Obviously, Cody needs this victory to then build back up for Roman, but now that's not happening. I'm like, Brock's a company man who does whatever he wants in the company. So if he comes out on the day and says, I want to win, they'll change the whole thing around. So I don't even think WWE knows who's going to win that match just yet. They've got 2 different ways of coming out of it at the end. Because if Brock does want to turn around on the day and say, no, I'm winning, I'm not putting Cody over, then they have to change everything, and that's what's going to happen. And Cody will turn around and go, okay, well, I'm a company man now. I'll guess I don't have a choice. And could he stop Brock in the ring anyway? But saying all of that, I'm also with you. I'm going to say Cody wins. That's what I'm going with at the moment.
Cody wins depending on Brock's mood on the day.
Yeah, pretty much, bro. Pretty much. Which is sad when you think about it.
I love it. All right, there you go. That is our thoughts for the Backlash card. Looking forward to that. And it is time to get into the 3-count draft. We're going to draft the best title belts in wrestling.
Now, I'm going to preface this with, I had all these notes and I can't find them anywhere. So I've had to do a mad scramble just before we came on, and I'm not happy with myself. So I'm going to do my best here because I've only written half of what I think I had.
Now, I have first pick. I'm torn here. I feel like there's probably 3 that could go with the first pick.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of going with my gut on this one. And I'm going to take the Big Eagle, the Attitude Era World Championship with my first pick.
Mate, I had you down for the Divas title for sure. So I'm happy. I'm very happy. See, this is where, okay, so that's a great pick. But now I'm torn because they're obviously, what do I do?
There's the other two. There's the other two.
Do you know what? I grew up more WCW man than WWE man. So I've got to go for the WCW Heavyweight Championship.
The big gold belt.
The big ass gold belt. I've got to go for it.
All right. Well, that leaves me with the winged eagle.
Yeah, exactly. And if I took the winged eagle, you would have taken the heavyweight title. So you get 2.
Exactly.
Oh, you got 2 for 1 there.
Exactly.
You got lucky. Now, I thought, well, maybe I could be a little. See, I'm torn between the next bit, but as I told you when we were doing this, I feel like I can get another one a bit further down. Okay. So I'm gonna go the IC title with the white strap.
That was one of my next 2 picks.
Yeah.
The white strap IC title.
I love that title so much.
That was beautiful. And Cody actually brought that back many years ago.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
When he had that run. All right. IC title, good pick. Now this may be a little bit controversial.
Yeah, already veto. Daniel, veto.
Controversial for the peeps out there. I'm sure people aren't going to like it, but I feel like this title has sneakily become like super relevant in pop culture. And it's the current WWE Championship belt. This one behind me here.
Yeah.
It's given to all the teams who win their respect, NBA, NFL, and it's just really become synonymous. When it first came out, it looked ugly as hell.
Yeah.
But I think over time, it's just kind of, it's got a bit of prestige about it now. And because they give it out to all the other champions for all the other sports, I'm going to take the current WWE Championship.
I've got it on my list. I like it. I do like it. All right. Well, I'm going to take almost a belt that wasn't around for very long. I don't know if this is allowed or not, but can I go the Smoking Skull title?
Absolutely, you can have the Smoking Skull title.
Beautiful. I just remember that whole time when him and The Rock back in the late 90s, and then when he threw it off the bridge and all that was just brilliant.
Smoking Skull title. All right. Where do we go from here?
To be fair, 3 of my top 4 on my list here I've got, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think I have 3 in my top 5. So, all right. There we go. Okay, I am going to take the AEW World Championship.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also behind me. When I first saw it, it looks very different than a lot of the other belts. It's kind of a lot. I don't know. The plates aren't as big.
Yeah.
The main plate isn't as big, but the next plates are bigger than usual. Yeah, it's an interesting design, but I like it.
Well, I'm going to go a different productions title as well. It's a very similar title, the AEW title. I'm going to go the IWGP heavyweight title.
The current title?
Yeah, the current title.
I love that title.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, how do I explain it? Like it goes up at the sides. It's almost like a happy face almost. But, but yeah, it's a beautiful title.
Happy face. I haven't thought about that one, but yeah, I don't mind that.
Like a smile. It's like a big smile.
Yeah. It's a nice title. I do like it.
Yeah. Okay. That's a great call. All right. With my last pick. Oh, there are some good ones left, but I think I'm going to have to go. Okay, I am going to take the $1 million championship with my last pick.
Oh, no.
Was that the one you were hoping would slip down to you?
I hate you so much. I hate you so much. Good old Ted DiBiase, the $1 million title. They even gave that to Stone Cold when he came in as the ringmaster, remember?
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, no, that was a great title. All those dollar symbols on that. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant title. Oh, well. All right. Well, I'm just going to take a stupid title then. Not because it's a beautiful title, but if you think about the matches that were built around it and the person who it was gifted to and who the people, the way they fought for it, I'm going to go the hardcore title.
Okay.
The old hardcore title.
It was not the prettiest title, but you know what?
Think of the blood, sweat, and tears that went into the people that fought for that title.
Do you know what? That title probably lasted the longest without a design change.
Yeah, true.
It was the same for so long.
Because it was like the old, they tried to make it like the Winged Eagle belt a little bit that had been crushed up and then just rubbish put in it and stuff like that. It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Great call.
It's a funny title, but it's not as funny as 24/7 title. But I mean,
no.
Yeah.
It was at one point, but
yeah. True.
But yes, there have been some legends, plenty of legends that have held that title. WWF hardcore title. Good call. Any honorable mentions, Benny? I've got a few here.
I think the WCW version of the US title, the original one back in the day, was good. I liked that. I wasn't a bigger fan when it came over to WWE with the flag and everything like that.
Do you know what? I actually have the current US title on my list. I don't mind it.
Okay.
It's chunky.
It is. It's very chunky.
But it's definitely a lot better than that flag one you're talking about.
Yeah. And speaking of titles now, the IC title now is just, I don't like that at all. That's ugly.
Excuse my French, but it's dog shit.
Yes. I don't mind the original NXT belt. That was pretty cool.
I had that on my list as well. The big X.
Yeah, the big X.
Square side plates.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. And I don't mind the North American title, with the red belt and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, that one.
Yeah.
I had Daniel Bryan's Eco Championship.
Oh, yuck. I hated that so much.
It was just so obnoxious.
It was.
Still so different. I didn't mind it, but it definitely wasn't going to make my list. Like the Undisputed Championship, the Ruthless Aggression kind of era.
Okay.
The TNA Heavyweight Championship from the 2010s was actually a pretty nice title belt.
What about the old X Division Championship? That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was the big X in the middle. And the original NXT Tag Team Championship belts were actually super nice. They were half gold and half black.
Yes, okay.
Which our boys FTR held for a little while. But yeah, so they were my honorable mentions. So our draft, I had the Big Eagle from the Attitude Era, the Winged Eagle, the WWE Championship, the current title, the AEW World Championship, and the $1 Million Championship. Benny had the World Heavyweight Championship, the big gold belt, the white strap IC title from the 90s, the Smoking Skull belt, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, the current iteration, and the WWF Hardcore title.
Hearing it back, I thought I lost that draft, but hearing it back, I'm feeling confident. Let me know what you think, fans.
Yeah.
And anybody else out there who's got any other titles that we might have missed, let us know, because there's so many out there.
Yeah, there's a lot out there.
If you go back, the old Bob Backlund, the real little ones that they had and stuff like that, they were crazy.
Yeah. Well, even, I noticed that with the new IWGP Women's title. It is tiny.
Tiny, yeah.
It's like an actual belt.
Yeah. It's just a belt buckle on a regular belt.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. You see bigger things in Texas.
And if it looks small on Mercedes, it's pretty small.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go. Our best belts draft. And that is it for the show this week. We're going to be back next week. We'll break down everything that happened at Backlash and the first Raw of the new rosters. Benny, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Dylan. Backlash should be fun.
Yeah, so go and enjoy Backlash, and we'll see you again next time on the 3 Count Podcast.